I don't like Toronto Tokyo as
You
much.
don't? You like
No.
Mio more?
Mio, yeah. Es Mio.
Dios Mio.
Yeah, Dios Mio. There you go. That's fine too.
Well, regardless, he is the mid laner, and so we were unfamiliar with what role he was playing, but yeah, he'll be playing mid as he was known for under his old tag, and hasn't been picked yet. In fact, I don't. Let's see.
I think that's a Maposhka Enchantress.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Get some 5-inch, and we'll see what mid they want to get as their last pick.
I will say, as far as the side of rating here, like I feel like Seneko is somebody that I remember playing Nature's Prophet a couple of times. So
I think
even though
all the CIS players have a history of it, so I would not be surprised.
right, but like in this heyday of like even when Nature's Prophet wasn't that good, I felt like he was playing it in support roles. So I don't know. I agree that I like it more in a core role, but I'm wondering if they might try and put it as 5.
Against a Centaur, I'm not enthusiastic. I think
Neither
Centaur is
am
one of
I.
the heroes who can deal with the support Prophet.
And Rubik, so...
Oh yeah,
more
and Rubik
damage
as well,
mitigation. Yeah.
I'd agree. Well, the nice part about Rubik, at least, is that you don't have as much like damage block to deal with the treants. There's
Yeah,
more ways
ever
to
since
deal
they
with
got
it.
changed to
true,
percentage
yeah.
based.
We'll see.
Meanwhile, Live to Win, looking for a 1 position and probably a 4 or 5. We'll have to see where this Lena shakes out to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, neither of these heroes feel like 5s out of the Slardar or Lena. Io's banned out, so they can't do that lane with the Slardar if they wanted to.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how where this Lena goes, because I feel like it's maybe a Lena Slaughter lane, but it could also be a Lena 5. Not that excited or enthused about the idea of a Lena 5 position.
I mean, I'm not excited about Lena in general, but they first picked it, so I don't know.
I like Lena.
You do?
Yeah, I think as a support primarily. As a core, I'm not enthusiastic about
Okay.
it. But as a support, she's always ready to go, I feel. So many other supports, like, I need this one item, this one thing's on cooldown, I'm kind of slow, I can't make it to the fight. Lena, like, I don't know, rarely has itemization issues and, like, level issues, I feel. And she can always farm the jungle very easily. Paired up with an Ember Spirit, so that'll...
Interesting.
I have no idea, actually, what the situation is.
Typically, it's just Ember mid, so this means Nature's Prophet does go into that side lane, either support or core role.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows? A lot of CIS teams have been doing some safe lane Ember over the past year or two.
Yeah.
And more on some older patches, but it's... well, and everyone was doing it when, like, Coddle Ember was a thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
So the one thing that could be cool about support Prophet would be like the off lane feels like it has a lot of kill potential, right? And then a quick TP up there from Nature's Prophet, summon some treants. That's a quick tower possibly as well. Like maybe around the 5-minute mark with a catapult or something, they could make something happen there and get a kill, quickly turn it into at least a good amount of damage on the objective.
Yeah, the only thing is that if they need Sprout to enable that kill potential, Spectre's going to be able to just zoop right out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I meant it more as far as like Slardar and Lena get the kill, and then
Sure.
they finish off the tower afterwards.
And to answer your earlier question, Jenkins did explain the Nature's Prophet problem. Like,
Okay.
well, I remember the key phrase he used to describe it is, it's a very complementary hero. If like you want to push a tower, it's a good hero to come help push a tower, but it doesn't do it by itself. If you want to gank a hero, it can do that, but it complements these things, but it doesn't like enable any of these things by itself. That was one of the big criticisms he had of the hero.
Okay, I
So,
can
yeah.
agree with that. Some top-tier analysis
Yep.
from Jenkins
It's a
Dota.
beautiful mind.
Beautiful mind
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah. And kind of a crazy one. Last
All the
night,
beautiful minds are.
like we went out, we got some pizza, we're hanging out, played some like one night werewolf thing, and then he was like, I want to get some soda too, and I was like, okay, you know, thinking we'd get like a can of soda or something. He bought 5 2-liters of Diet Pepsi.
Mm-hmm. That's his thing.
Like, I know it's his thing, but I thought it was like a joke.
Mm.
He
thought it
like
was a joke
drank
too,
a whole
yeah,
one.
No,
Like,
no.
think about how big that is.
Yeah.
I'm worried for the man.
I too thought Jenkins Dota was a joke for the biggest time. And let me tell you, he lives up to the hype.
Fair enough. Oh.
Last pick Marana.
So Prophet won then, I guess.
Okay.
I have no idea
This
what
is
they're
a weird draft.
I don't know.
Who's the 5?
Surely Marana's the 4, right?
Okay, Lena 5.
Yeah, Lena 5, Marana 4.
And then what?
Slaughter 3. Slaughter Marana lane, Lena Ember, and Nature's Prophet mid.
Sure.
Sure.
You guys on board?
I'm on board. It's a lot of
I don't know
magic
what you
damage
said.
versus a centaur, so I think that the Lena Ember lane can be pretty good. Slaughter
Okay.
doesn't need too much help, so Marana can go roaming around if need be. And now I guess you want to find a mid laner for Yellow Submarine to go up against Nature's Prophet.
And the beauty of this Live to Win draft is if, hey, a bad matchup comes out in the mid lane, you can be like, okay, this other hero is going to do better there. We don't want Nature's Prophet against this hero. We want Ember. But Nature's Prophet doesn't have many bad matchups, I'd say.
Can't really harass very well against a Void Spirit, so actually give it to
Oh.
Seneko.
It is what you were saying, Gabe. You recalled the
Snako
support,
Prophet.
yeah, support Prophet.
I'm intrigued. All right, gentlemen, do we have any predictions? Live to win, Yellow Submarine. Got 10 heroes on the board. Gods, you first.
I'll go with this good old-fashioned Spectre. This
Okay.
is a tried and tested carry hero, and I like Yellow Submarine's draft a little bit better.
Gabe?
I was hyping up the immersion train, so I'm going to stick with that. Feeling immersion. I think that with Snako, they're going to make some stuff happen there.
All right. Well, you will not be guided through that game by us. We are going to jump to a break, and when we return, Trent and Zyori will take you through the first game in this European match.
Hey there, boys and girls, and we are back. Game 1, loading in, ready to rock and roll. Trent, my man, how you feeling? Yellow Submarine, Live to Win. Who you favoring here in Game 1?
Yeah, heading off to Europe and the CIS brackets. I guess here mostly 2 CIS squads. We had to send C to sleep. Like, geez,
Yeah.
Game 3, that thing went so late. Exciting match, but yeah, panelists on both sides. I'm digging the Live to Win lineup. I think it looks a little bit stronger to me. I like this idea of the safe lane Ember that they're pretty partial to, and also like when you get this combo rolling of like the slight into bolas into arrow, it is like so frustrating to play versus because they just keep running at you with this low cooldown. It's basically like a guaranteed kill if you hit that.
They've got a great CC chain here. As we were talking about during the draft amongst ourselves, position for Marana in pub games, you don't love it. But in pro games, when you have all of this setup, all of these heroes that you can work with to find kills, I think Immersion should have a lot of options with the Marana this game. So we'll see what happens there. And with Ember as well as the Nature's Prophet and even like Slardar Marana, very mobile heroes, they're definitely going to have some of this, not quite global presence, but it's going to feel like it, right? A lot of initiation, a lot of catch, and a lot of ways for these heroes to follow up and close the gap.
Yeah, I think Void Spirit, I mean, for the most part, he can be sort of a stable hero, like as long as you just get those base items, but he does also have these issues where like maybe you struggle to get that Yules. You die a couple times, which I could see versus Alina, right? Like if there's a couple rotations mid or something and then the Void Spirit starts to fall behind. If he ends up getting like a late Yules, which then slows down his first couple kills, and then that slows down his like Aghanims or maybe some other item that he wants to go for this game, that can be a real problem because he is like the leading factor in this match to like set up these good haunt plays.
I'm a little worried for him. I think this Lina matchup is not particularly easy for the Void Spirit. It's manageable, but he needs rune control. He needs to be able to control the tempo and find some kills. Void Spirit, not very much a momentum hero, right? Not one that can fall behind and then easily recover. So I agree that Yule's timing absolutely going to be key. And same for the Lina.
It's kind of just like what control do you have in this lane is Void Spirit, right? Like not much. You know, like maybe the Lina makes a mistake or something, and maybe you can catch her with an Aether Remnant or something. But like, she's gonna have the better wave clear overall. She's the one who has like the longer range and much easier to execute stun.
And she clears the jungle faster too, so she can rotate to these neutral camps and get a lot more value out of it than the Void Spirit can. So she just has so many tools to accelerate. Down bottom, Ember Spirit is very low. Maybe about to die here. Can they turn it around? Collapse. He's actually going to fall. ILTW, God right there. Does end up going down to so bad, but gets the first blood and makes a great play out of it.
Yeah, you'll take that trade.
I would
as the
say
Ember
so.
Spirit. I think he probably bought out too by the looks of it. Let's see. Did he
Extra
lose
value.
anything? Yeah, well, I mean, he gained 264, so yeah, I doubt he lost much.
Pretty good.
Only sitting on reliable gold at the moment.
Well, mid is even for now, and glancing in up top, looks like things are going just fine for Spectre. Got a Hello Kitty fan here, very exciting.
Oh, nice. Look at that sponsorship. They paired up with someone for some gear. I don't know.
Hello
Maybe-
Kitty sponsorship, that's as non-endemic as
It was,
gets, bud.
it was Fnatic. Fnatic had a branded sponsorship with them.
Oh, that's badass.
There you
I
go.
missed that.
I mean, Yellow Submarine. You know, maybe they're looking to be the next team.
But, of course, shout out to Monster Energy, the title sponsor of this
Oh.
Dota Summit.
Oh, someone who does sponsor Dota and helps keep our scene alive must be
Yeah.
Monster Energy.
It's got to be Monster. The heroes of the Dota space, keeping us energized and keeping our players paid. And casters as well, I guess, but the players
Wait,
make all the
paid for
headlines.
this?
Oh, this
As,
isn't volunteer?
But yeah, I mean, up top, like, kind of worrisome as the levels start to stack, but we didn't have that, like, quick kill at the level 2. That's a bit of a classic, right? A leap into an arrow or something, and then a run-up crush or something.
It does feel
coming
not
through.
great, though. I mean, I guess Spectre's farming fine, so this lane is solid. But normally when you pick Enchantress, I think you want to bully the lane a little bit more. And this is not a combo that Enchantress is particularly effective against. She needs to play a little more safe. If she gets caught by an arrow stun combo, it's all over. And,
Yeah, that's Marana, though.
that'll be the courier.
kills.
Yep, leap in, grab it, leap out to safety. Nice little play there.
It's funny because it all started because he just missed an attempt on the Ench. It was like a bit of a throwaway arrow. Like, okay, if I hit this, he dies. If I don't, like, whatever. But then when you keep trading with the Ench like that, that's actually what gets you into the position where you can snipe that courier. They also have that ward directly under the Spectre's tower too. So if he ever sees those couriers like coming through, he can get the finish snipe on them.
Fairly even so far, but a little margin starting to form in the mid lane here. Lena ahead by about 4 or 5 CS and a couple of denies. So Toronto, Tokyo doing just fine, I think, within predictable margins at this point.
Yeah, he's got 4 creeps coming in. Yeah, he's not too bad. Bit of a nuisance, though, of course, when you're trying to secure. Oh, now the glyph even. Rubik is rotating, though, so good simile for the dodge.
Oh, does FN get punished here? So bad, level 3, 2 points in the Fade Bolt, not going to be able to do too much.
All right, where's the rune?
It's top. We've got ourselves an Arcane.
How unfortunate.
Looks like that is going to refill FN's bottle. Sorry, Toronto.
Yeah. Bring your support and everything. I mean, so much wasted time for the Rubik, too.
That's another courier, Trent. That's 2 for immersion. That's Maposhka's this time.
Seneko, though, has to eat a tree. Try and get the bonus HP regen here.
It looks like we'll be okay down bottom. Now, up top, though, levels starting to stack up, and things are looking more rough for Spectre. Starting to recover a little bit with this wave of creeps, but Slardar, 2 points in the Bash of the Deep, able to bully quite a bit.
Yeah, Ember is, I mean, just a little bit behind on CS, but still has the edge thanks to the first blood as well. But for the most part, just like fairly even all around. Again, though, the true hero to me is still going to be this Void Spirit, so hopefully Toronto Tokyo, his team can get him like a 6-minute rune or something. Maybe sync that up with his ulti to find something. Because right now, FN's pushing his tower, holding Arcane Rune, and has level 6. So you don't want to be anywhere near this Lina right now.
Yeah, this is that break point, right? This is so scary.
I'm kind of surprised he let his stacks fall there, actually, with the Arcane Rune. But either way, Maposhka runs into Afterlife in the river. Not going to go well for you. Of course, you actually do get bonus movement speed now at level 1. That was one of the better changes to Slardar, right? Where you don't have to get like the maxed out. Because that was always really annoying about Guardian Sprint.
Yes, absolutely. Big opportunity cost. It didn't really feel that good to level up.
No.
Now it's a lot better. As you said, Slardar maybe on the rise a little bit. He feels pretty good. His laning phase is just so good. And if he has a good laning phase and you get a recently timed blink, he can often just control the mid game. And he doesn't need much to do it. Couple bracers, some treads, and a bleak dagger. And you can break open a match.
Yeah, with like Razor falling off so hard. And I used to imagine Razor as being one of these heroes that would play like this, where they just kind of sat in the lane kind of as long as they could. Like, you almost didn't want to rotate if you're playing that like off-lane Razor style because you wanted to shut down the enemy carry. That's kind of what Slardar feels like. Like, you don't actually know when you want to leave, because the second you leave to rotate, do something else, you're now giving space to the Spectre.
Yep. And one other bonus that we haven't talked about, Corrosive Haze versus Roche. He gives you very easy Roche opportunities, and that can be a big bonus.
Yeah, it helps when your tower push. I mean, the tower push is actually pretty good. They have Prophet and Lina, but Yeah, obviously towers are even easier when you have the Aegis to back yourselves up with. Now, right now, they're actually closing on him at the level 5 here. Might be enough damage with just one in the sprint.
Okay, there's the crush. Slow from Maposhka. TP out, and he knows it. Great call. No way to stop it. Heads up
They weren't
play.
TPing anyone else in or anything.
Arrow going to be off the mark here, but Prophet on the way. Sineko comes in, trying to find So Bad, but a great telekinesis. Catches him straight away. No Sprout, and Rubik will make the escape.
They do know there's a ward there now, though. Pretty sure. I mean, they pinged the high ground, but it's actually on the low ground, so we'll see if they actually find it because of that.
Yep. The disparity right now, Trent, though, mostly in the offlaners. Carry's still reasonably close. It is the Centaur trailing about 800 behind this Slardar at the moment. Giving Live to win about a 1K advantage. Nothing too crazy. Only 3 kills in the first 7 minutes. Both teams playing very safe, pretty cautious.
We got
Let's see
a
this.
chunky stack down here by Ember and Rubik, huh?
Where is it? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Is that a 4? That's a 4X, or that's a quad stack.
It is. Yeah, we
Whoa.
got. Wait, it was 5. We have a centaur. We have 2 tomatoes. We got a bird. And
Oh,
we got
there's
a
2
satyr.
tomatoes. Holy Toledo.
This thing's just been worked the whole match. It looks like.
They got a whole crop here. Yeah, at 8 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Can we
Who's
stack it
gonna
again?
kill it is the
Guys.
real question. Can anybody actually kill a quint stack? Is that 5?
Can you imagine if it just like RNG'd itself into another stack? Oh man, it was close. I actually thought it was gonna stack him for a second there.
It's pretty darn hard to stack this another time. I can't remember the last time I saw a 6, especially on this camp.
Well, especially because it's like a contested area. It's not like free. I mean, they've got Immersion down here
Yeah.
now. It's got 2 points in the Starstorm.
This is a cluster. You've also got these treants in here adding into the mix.
They got magic resistance cloak. Like this is actually 2 stacked right now.
Yeah, like they can't kill it. ILTW is trying to tickle it down, but you've got all that regen from the Satyr Tormentor in there. They're just gonna regen back
It's the
up.
3rd team. This is the neutral lineup. They're battling the Radiant and the Dire.
This is the 11th hero. This is the VR Roshan of the Dota Summit.
Is
I
it
like
the end of November already?
Well,
at least now they can clear it out for potential neutrals.
yeah, the battle continues, I guess.
I guess they've actually got all theirs. It's only the Dire that's missing one. And
They are slowly bringing it down. Ember at least has enough AoE damage with 2 points in Slight, 2 points
Oh
in Flame
no!
Burst.
He got caught trying to TP home. That was so greedy.
Yep, Glaps gonna use the ulti. Now the setup though, maybe a counter kill onto this Centaur, brought down low, and he will fall. But ILTW goes down first, and we'll call that a win for the yellow Submarine.
Void Spirit was coming through as well, but got pinged out, so they backed into the tower, and now they're just going to clear that. Now that is someone who can clear out a camp like that.
Yeah,
That Void Mark damage on everybody.
that's pretty nice. And that'll be a little bit of recovery for Toronto Tokyo. Actually makes that rotation worth it.
He got a, whatchamacallit, the Faded Brooch, too. Really nice item for him in this current state.
Oh yeah, that's great. Although he did send it back, I guess. So
Oh, really? He just... Well, no, he's bringing it on the courier.
oh, I thought he found it
Yeah,
himself.
no,
My
no.
bad. My bad. Yeah, that
10
movement
minutes.
speed is top tier. Uh-oh, so bad now. Gonna be caught. Arrow, sidestep. Nicely done there, but ILTW comes in to finish off the kill. It will actually be Sineko that gets it with the Wrath of Nature, but still. Not surviving this time, so bad.
Yeah, why is Guardian Sprint dispellable, first off? Slider need that.
Would it be busted if it wasn't?
I mean, I guess the hero's good enough now that it's fine. If he was
Yeah.
bad, it would...
It reminds me of Bulldoze on Spirit Breaker a little bit. When you're against Enchantress, sometimes you feel like, man, why is this shit dispellable? But then you realize if it wasn't dispellable, Spirit Breaker would be really, really, really good. So,
That's
yeah, I
fine.
don't know, man. I don't know if I could justify that. I don't
It
know
just
if I want
looks
to
funny
see
because
Slardar
the
every
ability is
game.
basically just run. So it's like, how do you dispel like run?
About halfway to that Blink Dagger. 1,000 gold in the bank for Slardar right now. And ILTW, he's looking for Maelstrom. Nice hybrid item. Farming, fighting. Standard stuff happening.
It looks like he's probably just knows that he's gonna need the Yules after anyway, assuming there's a Void Spirit goes for Nagnums at some point. They got Ench here, as you can see, with the Tornado helping out Toronto Tokyo. This is how you do some stacks. Look at the
Seriously.
investments here.
This
They're
is
cashing in the
efficient.
portfolio.
I mean, this is what you got to do, though. Stacking is low-key busted right now. This is crazy good recovery for the Void Spirit. He's only 200 net worth behind the Lina. Remember 10 minutes ago, I was pretty nervous for this Void Spirit. I thought Lina might be starting to get a lot of momentum by now, and that hasn't really happened. This Laguna has been at the ready for most of the game. She does have duels now, so maybe this is where the aggression steps up. We're going to see a 4-man push at this top tier 1, and it seems Yellow Submarine will choose to sacrifice it, and they won't get a trade bottom, and doesn't look like they'll get a trade mid either.
It's a classic complaint of the Lina is that she can snowball very hard, but when you don't get kills around the map, it can get a little bit weird. I do like her game here, though, where she just goes the Yules and the BKB because of the Slardar. So, like, Slardar is a bit of an underrated hero, not just because of the minus armor, but because of the vision the whole time when you have all these ranged hitters. Like, you have Nature's Prophet, Mirana, and Lina. So, if you try and juke them into the trees, like, that is not going to save you at all. You're still going to get slaughtered by a barrage of projectiles.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And Nature's Prophet, a support known for his right-clicking prowess, right? Great agi gain. He's even got a Blightstone of his own, going for that Glimmer Cape. Snake will be able to do some damage in these fights. He is going to hold this tier 1 down bottom as Collapse continues to pressure the lane. He's about halfway to that Blink Dagger now, so still hop and a skip behind that of the Slardar, but getting some farm. They will look to set up onto Seneko, and a nice free kill going the way of the Spectre this time.
Yeah.
Toro.
Oh, a second one here on the Immersion. Careful now.
FN's here, though. It's a level 10 Lina with a Yules and a Laguna, so they will hesitate, not going to overcommit.
I feel like I very rarely see the Centaur now. So many like Mars games, and I mean mostly just Mars. Honestly, feels like he's like the de facto offlaner at this point. But Centaur, nice game for him to try and help put some pressure on the FN, especially before this BKB, right?
Yeah, I
Between,
mean, we were
like-
so excited when they changed him back to be like real Centaur again with like Hostile Double Edge getting priority instead of Retaliate, but hasn't seemed like that change has really brought him to prominence. You know,
I mean, the Retaliate thing was kind of busted for pushing towers. It was really strong. Like, just being able to hit that and like guarantee a tier 1 and even like late game like Morphling combos. I don't know.
I agree.
I can see why it kind of sucks. Now he's like just Blink Dagger reliant again.
Yeah, he has some burst combos in lane, like Centaur Witch Doctor, for example. That's a pretty nasty kill lane. He can certainly work with combos like that. Like Centaur Shadow Demon, still a really good combo.
Yeah, I
So
think
those
we'll probably
aspects
keep
of him
seeing
don't
more of this Centaur Rubik too. I mean, Centaur Rubik's been in the thing for like years, but it's. I mean, Rubik's really busted right now, and Centaur is like decent. So if Centaur keeps having success, we might see him a little bit more often.
Yeah, Rubik's felt like he's been in a good spot for a while now. He's had a good year, really.
Is he broken? Is Rubik too strong? Probably a little bit. I mean, he's like first pick every game is up top Maposhka. They're looking for the arrow setup, but that he had that creep in between, but it does not matter.
Yeah. Maybe a little. I think Rubik's on the stronger end. I wouldn't put him S tier necessarily. He's just so well-rounded. As we've gone back to a lot of times, there are very few games if you first pick Rubik, it turns into a bad Rubik game. Certainly some are better than others. You can have amazing Rubik games, but you don't really have bad Rubik games. So we saw CM in that category for a lot of years, right? She was just this safe support that isn't really worth banning, but is very well-rounded. I wouldn't want to see him nerf too hard, Trent. I like watching Rubik.
No, we need Rubik as he
Speak of the devil, though. He's going to be brought down. Sorry, Ruby. Might have cursed you there. That'll be another tower for the Radiant squad.
It looks small that they're just like losing Rubik in that tier 1 tower, but this is the kind of moments that like end this game for Yellow Submarine, you know? Like not getting a fight there, not finding a haunt moment. When the Centaur's Blink Dagger was flying out on the courier, the Yules was coming up for Toronto Tokyo. They have those two items and they can easily contest that fight. Stampede and Haunt, like a 5-man fight like that is supposed to be yours at this point.
Yeah. You would hope so, at least. Nothing slowing down this Lina right now. What is Spectre going for? Yataro is going to go first item Manta. Very smart, very safe. Works well with the Desolate. Going to grab Diffusal after this. I think he had to do something like this. Maybe could have picked up a drum, but no way he could have gotten away with
the setup here up top.
Radiance Rush. And yeah, this time the arrow will connect, and that'll be more than enough burst damage to destroy the Enchantress.
All right, well, if they control this jungle for another 7.5 minutes, they won't kill that obs that he placed down next to that sentry. So that's
a tall order. We'll see.
Piece of cake.
But, I mean, they are staying pretty aggressive here. I do like the way Live to Win have done this. Like, they played very conservative, let's say, for that first 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then they knew their timing. Like, okay, we got the Blink. Okay, Seneco's got Glimmer. Immersion's got some Arcane Boots. Our Ember's starting to come online. Now we feel comfortable doing this 5-man. And this is a great amount of pressure on a tier 2. 16 minutes. This is a good use of the siege creep.
Yeah, they're going to TP in the Void Spirit.
Oh my gosh, look at this. He uses the double damage rune, gets a couple extra licks in, and gets maybe 5 more auto attacks from that siege creep. Very nicely done.
That was a disaster. They were just like too slow. Maybe not so much too slow as like very good respect of Live to Win when the glyph came out. Because they know what Yellow Submarine want, right? They know they're hunting for this little 5-man engagement with Stampede and Haunt. And so they want to ensure that they're in the best possible situation whenever that's going to occur. And now that they've put a little bit of pressure up top, the next situation is probably like push in, force a good fight for yourselves with the BKB, and then take this Roche with the Slardar.
Yeah, absolutely. Live to Win playing very controlled Dota right now. Very much like everything with a mission, you know, on the same page, very controlled movements. And now they'll use a Moonlight Shadow. Could see a big skirmish break out here. No smoke from the Dire, but they are grouped up. Is this just going to be a Moonlight Shadow into
Centaur's
Roche?
Courier? Oh, it's close.
No, okay. That's the other thing, too. With Slardar and Mirana on the same team, you actually can sneak Roche pretty effectively. It's still a risky maneuver, but it's one of those things that you have in your back
They think they're in there, and now
they call it right, but the smoke gets broken. Great positioning by Immersion. He just leaps away. Toronto Tokyo comes in, eats a Laguna, does survive for now, jumps back out, but this is not the way that Yellow Submarine want to take this fight. They do trade 1-for-1, Rubik for Immersion, but it's not going to pull Live to Win out of the Roche pit.
Stolen Laguna.
Down bottom. Stolen Laguna. Well, he's dead, so...
Well, that's what I mean. That's how he killed him.
Oh,
he just Laguna'd him.
Yeah.
That felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it did stop the Roche. I thought they were going to commit for it still, but it does pull them out of the Roche pit. So I spoke too soon. Good play from the Rubik.
Well, if Rubik buys back and just like TP's in and they stampede, then suddenly it's like Haunt and Stampede and everyone's just back again.
Yeah. So, all right, Live to Win. They respect the global presence and they just go back to farming.
Both teams getting the Imp Claw.
Cool.
I'm really having the Quiver grow on me. That's one of my favorite neutral items right now. I think it's busted.
I have been grabbing that on my position 1s, and it is definitely a noticeable amount of damage.
Sometimes I just kill someone out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what? How did they die? I'm like, oh, yeah, right, Quiver. It's like, why did I just, like, nuke this guy?
And it works on melee heroes, too, right? It's not even just range. Like, you get that extra range attack, but you can get the extra damage hit on melee heroes. Like, I've seen Faceless Voids carry it, and it's actually pretty good. It's a little ridiculous.
Oh, this time they won't have a glyph as this tier 2 tower pressure comes through. They are trying to force mid, though, so this would be at least a somewhat okay trade.
So normally I'd agree, but if you lose this tower here, is there a long enough window here? You've got 20 seconds. Can they get back and take this outpost for 20 minutes?
Oh, they're going to. Immersion's already on it. Yeah, this is bad.
So, yeah, not worth. Normally you'd be okay with that trade, but to not get XP at 20, this hurts. And no option to take the Radiant one. Obviously, all the tier 2s still standing, and there you go. It might go 3 runes. Oof. Yeah, that hurts. The only silver lining there is 3 bounties will go to Yellow Submarine.
And they didn't get Roche on Live to Win either, as the Dire scan it out too, so they know that they're also not contesting it right now.
I always feel like that hurts extra at the 20-minute mark because it is relatively rare that you see a tier 2 taken by 20 minutes. Generally, teams are pretty apt in defending towers because they don't want to risk losing the experience like that. So it
well, and it's your jungle too, you know, like the fact that that outpost is gone is just.
Yeah, now you've got like look at the map right now. You've got like 4 heroes stuck in this triangle. That doesn't feel good.
And look at Radiant Vision even. Like their vision is crazy right now. This is the only part that's dark on the map for them. We'll see if the smoke will catch them off guard with all this vision though. Oh, he went for the defensive LSA. That was so greedy.
Collapse grabs 2. FN goes down first. The Haunt now into old A. He'll reality over. That's 2 dead. Great team fight sequence for Yellow Submarine. The double damage rune on Toronto, Tokyo, making that even easier. And now they head towards the Roche Pit themselves.
FN tried to be a god. He has 2 cast spells and 0 damage because he tried to LSA on his Ember when he saw that smoke pop to see if he could basically stun the Centaur before the Centaur stunned them.
Oh, Trent, look at this. Corrosive Haze on Rubik.
Oh, that's not good.
A double damage on the Void Spirit. They're actually going to be able to kill this Roche crazy fast. That is God tier. Yo, so bad.
Not so
Well
bad.
done.
He's so good. Yeah.
Well done, man. Yeah, we need a rename on this guy.
Maybe after they like win a LAN, they'll change his name.
Ah, a player from Belarus.
Yeah, he was on Unique, and then he stood in for Na'Vi recently too, when they were making their new lineup. I think when they were trying that stuff out.
Well, this game has taken a turn for the more even. I really thought Live to Win were going to start grabbing momentum with that early 5-man, and now Yellow Submarine have more than stalled this out. They've taken the Aegis, and they're about to take the net worth lead and have secured the experience lead now of about 2,000.
I mean, what has Lena been able to accomplish this game with everything that she's gotten? You know, like they utilized her as like a big siege engine, and she was able to help like take all those towers because she was basically this big backline threat. But
She's
like
0,
still having
1,
her
and 2 with
yeah, she had the
230
10-second
CS.
BKB.
Yeah. And BOTs. Like, she is really farmed. The GPM's been great, but you're right. Accomplished very little.
Team fight wise, at least. Now this looks pretty good, right? There's no haunt, but there is still Stampede, so they have to get a clean initiation.
Okay, and they found it. They get collapsed, and that's as clean as it gets. Full to 0. They bring him down. So bad. Glimmer Cape, a few seconds left. They know he's around, but they can't quite find him. He gets under tower. ILTW jumps in. Follow-up LSA. BKB from FN. Does have it. Clips him with the Dragon Slave. The tipper at the end. Now Ember Spirit pulled in by Void Spirit, but the Yule Scepter setup. Void Spirit in trouble. Big time first. He's done. No more Aegis. ILTW now on the back foot, but I think he might survive. Toronto Tokyo jumps in. A bold maneuver and won't have the damage to get the Ember. Lena brought down low. She falls. Not looking great for Live to Win. Now the Slardar are going to have to overcommit. Now on the run, and I think they're going to be able to catch him. Yep, there's a Diffusal Blade. They'll slow him down, and the Spectre will be the big victor in this fight. A little messy for Yellow Submarine. They lose the Aegis, but their Spectre comes in the clutch, and it's another win.
Yeah, that gives them about 2K more XP than was gained from Live to Win, and then also like 1,300 gold too. A lot of that focused on the Ench, because she was laying in some serious heat at the end. Look how much damage that is from like your 5.
Yeah,
like 2,400 damage, chucking the impetuses in there.
Well, so that's the dark side of all that mobility that I was really praising for Live to Win. With Ench in those fights, when she's playing turret in the back line, yes, yeah. Slardar, sprint all you want. I don't mind. Get as far away as you can, bud. Another great team fight. And now this Spectre is really king of the castle, Trent. She has Skull Basher to go with the Diffusal Manta, and that's going to be Abyssal Blade up next. Spectre is big and scary. She's also level 18, first hero to get the level 3 ultimate.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right, what does a one fight look like for Live to Win right now? Ember basically can't get silenced. If he gets silenced, I feel like he's just dead because he like self-uses, and then someone else has to like tank the Aether Remnant for him, or else he's just gonna die.
But there's also still a Centaur and
yeah.
Are scanning.
This Void Spirit Agnes is just so frustrating at this point. Like Lena has the BKB, so it's not a big concern for her necessarily. But Spectre was actually still on the tower down here.
Yeah, maybe an overcommitment. They're going to go in pretty big. Stampede gets mitigated by the Yules, and they've got the Laguna. Spectre punished hard for that sloppy positioning.
Oh, what a save.
Great Remnant.
And that's life.
Yeah, that'll prevent additional
Tokyo's
losses,
crazy. He farms that camp. Are you serious? I mean, you don't even Arcane Rune, man. Come on.
Yeah. A bold play.
And he has this ward, too, so he can even see Afterlife here.
That was costly, though, Trent. That's like...
Yeah, that's just like, why are you still hitting that tower, man?
It's like, yeah, your team wasn't there. If that's bait and you've got 4 people in the jungle on the high ground ready to back you up, I'm all for that play. But when you're solo, that's the sort of... I tunnel visioned a little. You're right.
Yeah, some sort of miscommunication, probably.
Some sort of misfire, but yeah, not great. Giving Live to Win an in back into this mid game. Slardar's
Shivas
Aghanim's not far.
Oh yeah.
5,000.
How good is it this game?
Pretty decent. There's enough disable that I like the status resistance.
I mean, the HP regen is also pretty ridiculous, I guess.
Yeah.
I always think of it as like not being that good versus magic damage because it's like so much armor and status resistance. I mean, if you're getting chain stun, it can be kind of good. But
And it's the movement speed, don't forget, too, because those puddles persist. So
Yeah.
it gives Slardar more ability to just kind of run around. It's like he has a haste rune in the fight, you know? The nuisance factor, not to be underestimated.
and he'll probably have it by the next Roche, right? Because it may respawn in 3 minutes. So that Roche fight with the Aghanims is also very good.
I mean, we'll see. Smoke up right now from Yellow Submarine. Depends how this fight goes.
Oh, that was dangerous. Got an amazing D word to get there from Seneko too, though, because like they're all just like camping right nearby, and they don't know where they are.
Oh, Remnant catches the Ember. Follow up, he's done. More. Spectre does get a bash onto the bottom. He's realitying all around. Realitying. That's a... Reality is not meant to be a verb. Whoa! Whoa, Tokyo! Okay, he does survive, but Slardar's there. He gets bashed, smashed, dusted up, and the Glimmer won't be enough to save him. Okay, so they trade spirits.
Yeah, I think he thought he could get a solo kill on the Mirana because he came in Yule's Terror, but then Lina got the Yules on him from the high ground.
Yeah, I clicked up
Seneko
because...
cuts off Mavoshka, but no stun.
TP out, and on the other side, though, so bad, he's going to be caught, and the arrow will connect, so this will be a win for Live to win. Yeah, I had clicked up top to see if the Spectre was going to reality on top of somebody, and then I went back, and the Void Spirit was in deep. Like, whew, you're right, this guy is crazy. He plays a very aggro Void Spirit, that's for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, it's definitely his job this game. Hopefully he's gotten enough for his Spectre now, as Yutaro looks towards the TKB.
Radiant are scanning.
So this is a pretty tight game. Are you in agreement with Dota Plus? Right now they're saying 73% for Yellow Submarine. Are you digging on this Spectre? Or are you feeling a little more 50-50?
No, I would say like, I don't know if I go like 73, maybe like 60% for the Dire. I think the big thing's just gonna be Roche, right? That's the factor we're at, and it's kind of all there is to it. I think it's just really hard to utilize your Lina in this game compared to how easily it is to like make the value of your Spectre become apparent.
I agree wholeheartedly. Seeing Lina and Spectre even on net worth at 30 minutes, I would much rather have the Spectre on my team. You mentioned that Shivas that FN was working on. He just completed it, and now he wants MKB. So he will do a lot of damage. It's a very specific sequence of events for the Lina to get all that damage out. Spectre always has that luxury of kind of just pressing R no matter where she is on the map.
And the Shivas is interesting. It's like he's trying. It's like he doesn't want to be a glass cannon, but I almost kind of feel like they need that big right-click glass cannon. He's just going for this middle ground. So hopefully it means that he survives a bit longer and therefore will get off more damage, but it is going to lower their chance of getting those big like one-person bursts as he invests into a like little bit more of a defensive item as you're seeing the HP and the extra defensive items going on your opponents. Although Toronto Tokyo is looking towards a Deso next year too, so even if they don't steal the Corrosive Haze again, we might still see a faster Roche from Yellow Submarine when this returns in 45 seconds.
And maybe that brings the Shivas into focus a little bit, like hedging his bets that they're likely to get some minus armor items. And that is a weakness that Lina has, and at least now the Shivas can let her stand her ground a little bit instead of just getting ripped apart. But we will see. Roshan up in 30 seconds. Double damage rune spawns at the 30-minute mark in the bottom position. And that could be relevant for this next Roche. Which team actually has the advantage in the Roche pit? Like if we're talking a 5v5 skirmish around the big objective. Like Haunt and Centaur are amazing in the Roche pit, but
Yeah.
Slardar is also incredible because you're already in the river, so he's just fast and annoying.
Live to Win have no important ultimates, right?
Yes.
Laguna might be the most important one, whereas Yellow Submarine can really only fight with Stampede and Haunt, at least when the fight like first kicks off. So that's the big difference. If the first fight happens with the Haunt and then there's like buybacks and everything, and then everyone just returns as full 5-man rosters, then I'd rather be Live to Win because you just have Ember like sliding around and arrows flying and Slardar in the river doing his thing. But maybe they. How many buybacks do they have? Because this is definitely a buyback worthy fight, right?
No, not many.
They have like none.
It's
They have Prophet.
Spectre and Prophet. That's it. So,
At least Prophet has it because he's the one who can like TP into the front line and then just like buy back an ulti.
yeah.
And he has his BKB done. Wow, Seneko. Okay, now he definitely doesn't have buyback. A 31-minute BKB.
Still, though, Glimmer BKB on Prophet. He's got a lot of armor, too. That's with the Greaves extra armor there, but he's at like 25. He's tanky. He's your big boy. Now, Roche has been scouted out. Dire, they've got some, by both sides. Prophet put creeps in, and there was an enchanted creep from the Enchantress in there. So both sides are aware that Roche is respawned. Smoke up now from Yellow Submarine.
Oh, Octarine's done in time for the fight. So is everyone going to get their item? Because Spectre was building BKB. Yeah, that's done. Centaur has the Lotus, and Rubik has the Blink. So pretty much everyone's at like full power right now for this Roche fight.
All right, Smoke about to expire, though. This is a tough angle. They are going to jump in onto ILTW, and they've got him. Full to 0. He's just dead. No buyback available. BKB from Toronto Kid. They're in onto Seneko. He'll use his BKB, but Stampede, they can still close the gap. It won't save you from the right clicks. That's 2 dead. Spider Legs might just save the Centaur. No. FN has an auto attack that'll chase him down. A 1 for 2, and now the Great Escape, the Dire, will make it back. Yellow Submarine, just as that smoke broke, they still went for it, and they popped the Ember once again.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Brutal. It's like the worst hero for them to lose, pretty much. And between the Ember and the Lina, right?
Yep. And rune control, Trent, that was a big part of that fight. Void Spirit had both a double damage and an arcane rune. He bottled the DD from 30 minutes, picked up the arcane at 32 minutes, and then slaughtered that fight.
I got another one now.
Immersion, he's done. Yeah, that is one way to ensure Void Spirit pops off. A 10-second BKB and double runes. Get the hell out of here, bud.
Oh, man. Liv to want to be kicking themselves over this one. But at the same time, it is just kind of a draft-based thing where you're putting stock in the fact that your opponents won't succeed when they have those double ultimates available, and like you think you can kite out or something. But those initiations between the Void Spirit and the Centaur Warrunner, they are consistently getting the one hero blow up, and then when you add on Stampede and Haunt to that, it's just way too strong. Seneko on the run here, but they got him.
They've got him indeed.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but the BKB TP, that one will matter. He makes it out.
Fair enough. I would say this is 10 seconds. Oh, no, this is 9. Okay.
Yep. Always a shame when you see the Ember go all in on a big item like Octarine Core and then get full to 0'd. It had 0 impact in that last fight. And maybe if he had buyback, that could have been an opportunity where he could have jumped back into a Remnant. We'll hold that thought, though. Tokyo, weird spot in the river. They'll use the Moonlight Shadow now. Afterlife doesn't really have an angle, and he'll just retreat. There's another double damage rune in the bottle of the Void Spirit, so probably not a time to pick a fight.
Looks like So Bad's kind of lurking down on Seneko here.
Trent, do you think the Emperor should buy
he
BKB?
has no BKB?
Oh, Seneko, he's dusted up. Both teams trying to reinforce here. This could be an intense fight. Battle in the tree line. He's surviving for now. Remember, Seneko's very tanky. In comes the arrow. That'll be off the mark. Spectre gets bashed, trying to finish off this kill. Will haunt for it and does secure it. Now FN in pretty far. Does drop the Laguna, but BKB about to expire. Brought down by the double damage Tokyo Kid. They'll also get the Ember Spirit, and it's another bad fight. GG.
Wow.
That's it. They know. No buybacks on those 3 dead heroes, and live to win. Tap out at 35 minutes. Yellow Submarine all day here in game 1.
I respect that they recognize that they missed their window, right? Where they thought that they could keep snowballing, utilizing this like 5-man lineup where as long as the Haunt's not there and the Stampede's not there, we're just going to take your towers, move to Roche, take the next tower, put the Lina in the back line. This was like one of those games where the team drafts the drought early, and then there's just so many ways to get on top of the drought, and the game just looks like a stomp. That's kind of what happened. Like, game looks okay. But then suddenly there was just way too many ways to blow up FN, and he had a really hard time actually like being consistent source of damage in the team fights and not just like a 1 round of burst.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel for ILTW. They blew him up super effectively at that game. We saw this yesterday in Summit Americas, this same kind of thing where I think it was the Faceless Void. He bought BKB, couldn't even use it in most of the fights because they stun locked him full to 0. Same thing for Ember here. Even if he bought BKB, I don't think it would have made any difference over that Octarine Core. He wouldn't have been able to use it.
Yeah, well, either way, he certainly did not find whatever the right answer was in terms of
No.
an item build. But yeah, mostly just Yo Submarine playing a simple Dota as it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
Pick good heroes, wait for your ultimates, and I mean the initiations I think were the big thing that I would be taking away from this, especially just like Void Spirit and Centaur were A+ on the jumps.
Mm-hmm. Great initiation, and they also just played around the Spectre really well. Purple ended that game 7-1-5. Pressured a little bit early on. Wasn't the easiest lane against Slardar, but then played the mid game, I would say, almost perfectly. Didn't make too many boo-boos. It was just that one push down at that tier 2 tower. Maybe the one mistake we could hold over Purple's head a little bit, but other than that, really a really solid Spectre performance. So all right, we're going to take a break, Trent. Then we're going to come back. Game number 2, the decider in the GSL group stage here for the Monster Energy Dota Summit Europe CIS section. We're coming back after this. Division, whatever.